pick a priority that resonates with your leadership and try and make it measurable.
Two approaches that we've found, and both are really associated with storytelling around data governance, right? So the idea that we're feeling that data governance is important. First of all, there's a risk and compliance concern. I think a lot of us start with approaching it from that point of view. We're a manufacturing company, and so we think about things like PCI compliance and HIPAA compliance and that. And so in terms of like a security role for data governance, that becomes kind of critical. And then we have laws like GDPR that have costs associated with non-compliance. And so, in terms of creating a story around why data governance is important, we can start with the stick aspect of it of, well, what happens if you don't comply with it? And then the other aspect of it is trying to tell stories about how we can improve our business with improved data, right? And oftentimes those are told with the cost of bad data. We have been tracking a number of scenarios where we've identified poor quality data that resulted in poor decision making from businesses or fines and penalties from customers or partners. And when you look at it from that point of view, we think that we can identify hundreds of thousands, if not more, in terms of cost to the business that can be driven out by improving data quality. And so we try to kind of create the hearts and minds approach and change with being able to tell stories of why we should care from a cost point of view, because nothing gets your senior level support more than them understanding, hey, we spent $10,000 on fines for this last year, and we spent, $30,000 for this. And oh, by the way, if we don't comply with GDPR, here's the millions of dollars worth of exposure that the business ends up having. In terms of the context of the risk. So that's the approach I think you end up taking to try to build the support within the senior leadership. And I think that helps them understand the why of data governance and data quality and data security.
Along the same lines, for us, it helped to quantify. We operate in in healthcare liability insurance space. We care a lot about security. So our argument, for creating the room for data governance came a lot from, talking about security and how governance would help us get more firmer grasp of security on our data assets and data quality as well. So if it really depends on what your leadership is probably most prioritizes the most. If it is security, there's probably a security focus that you can, come up with some measurements to prove and show value as you progress. Data quality, you can also measure, data quality, whether it's exception reports or other things. But that's my suggestion, is to pick a priority that resonates with your leadership and try and make it measurable.
Getting their sign off on that risk. If you can't get their buy-in for enforcement of the control, send them that risk and ask them to sign up on it, and you might get a little bit different reaction.